time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure, so let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Deer Camp Coffee,
Buck Baits,
JPO Game Calls,
The Island Armory,
Packer Max,
Sunrise Archery,
and C3 Better the Hunt Technology.
Welcome back. Another week of Up North Journal podcast live here on Facebook for those watching and for those on the podcast listening.
You got to go watch Facebook or catch us on YouTube.
You should be on Facebook.
Because you only hear the edited version on the podcast, the unedited version on Facebook and YouTube. But it is June 1st.
Yeah, we've made it.
A little bit cooler than the last 3 days.
It is.
Which is
It's
nice.
a good thing.
It is. I like a break.
Yep.
But we're here. It's June 1st. That means we got some business we're going to be doing in the next couple weeks. Mm-hmm. But we got some business to take care of with our supporters.
Well, let's get to it.
Absolutely. I tell you what, folks. I was down at Deer Camp today, which is the home of Buck Baits. And they've got some new, exciting stuff out. You know, some more hunting stuff on the wall in the shop. Go over to buckbaits.com, and if you use the promo code UNJ20, you'll get 20% off your order when you check out.
There you go.
The Packer Max. Mm-hmm. No time like the present to get in your food plots, or any time during the year. But if you want to save $25, use the code UNJ25. Go over to packermax.com. Talk to Lincoln Roan. Get a Packer Max.
There you go.
Again, down at Deer Camp, JPO Game Calls. He had them there. And if you're thinking about getting yourself a game call, whether it's for deer hunting or coyotes or squirrels or checking out the Omni Series, use the promo code UNJ10. You'll get 10% off your order at WJPO Game Calls. The Island Armory. Get them before they take them is what her motto was. And if you use the promo code UNJ10 at theislandarmory.com, you'll get 10% off your order. And I recommend going to the website and checking, because she's always adding what in-stock items they have right on the front page.
Weren't we just talking about this before the show?
We were.
I'll give you a little insight to what we were talking about.
Right? And I tell you what, we have switched over to our cold brew.
That's right.
Which is Deerlicious today, right?
Deerlicious, yes.
Deerlicious.
It is Deerlicious.
Right? Here it is, cold brew. We're having some now. You use the promo code UNJ10 over at Deer Camp Coffee. You will get 10% off your order there.
While you're there, get some of ours.
Right? I tell you what, don't forget to get the UNJ medium roast to help us, because we help them. And if you're up in the UP, which is a Newberry, which is a nice 59 degrees and sunny, I don't see a cloud in the sky there, get over to Cedars, get a pizza. They're selling Deer Camp coffee right there in the store, in the restaurant itself.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
There you go. And big shout out to FM 123 up there in Newberry that carries the show for us.
All right. So if you come back to me, I want to give a shout out.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Nope. While at Deer Camp today, Tony introduced me to a couple that is working with, it's called Crossroads for Youth, who help out the youth up in the area of Oxford.
Okay.
That's where the camp's at. And guess what they're going to have? Crossroads for Youth is going to have Cow Plop Bingo. That's right, folks. Cow Plop Bingo.
Okay, so how does one play Cow Plop Bingo, Dan?
So you got a field. You mark it off like a bingo board.
It's for each person that's playing. You got your own little board.
You got your own little board, but then they got the field.
Okay.
Right? And they got it sectioned off however they do it.
Okay.
And basically, as the cow plops, you play bingo. So,
okay.
It's free admission for all ages. They're going to have potato sack races, egg toss, bounce house, face painting. Kona ice truck is going to be there, and more. So, get over to Oxford. June 18th, it's from 1 to 3. And check them out on Facebook. Go over there, see what they got going on, and
help some kids in the area.
Absolutely. But that's not all. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Mark Coleman and over at Raised at Full Draw. He's in his last week here. He's trying to get some kids to camp, so he's put out a little blurb out there to he's running it till this Friday, and if you donate $100, he'll cover the other 150, so it comes to a total of $250, and he'll help kids get to camp, and you can do your part by helping out with just $100. He'll take care of the rest.
There you go.
Right? So,
And one of those camps is here in Michigan,
absolutely.
over on the west side of the state. Teaches them about the outdoors and hunting and all that kind of good stuff. So what's on the agenda for tonight?
So, we're going to talk about our up north experience. Actually, you went west in Michigan, and I went to the UP.
Yep.
So
You went north, then west.
you're right. Absolutely.
Way
So
west.
you want to start with me, if you want to. I can talk about what we did.
Makes no never mind to me. What was your agenda going up north?
Okay,
what
so
did you want to get done?
all right, so we're heading up to the cabin. First time of the year.
So you haven't been up since we were deer hunting last year. Well, or you went deer hunting.
I haven't been up there since middle of November.
Is there still snow on the ground?
Right? I bet you if it would have been right, they probably lost it. It's actually kind of been a wet.
Okay.
As we were driving up, it was raining. Literally, when we were crossing the Mackinac Bridge, we could not see 200 feet in front of us until we got to the big pillars. Oh, here they are.
Okay.
And then it kind of felt really weird when you're driving towards into St. Ignace, and it's like, okay, you can't see land, you can't see nothing.
Oh, there it is.
And there it is. So, but our agenda was to go up north. We were going to put a stand out in the woods, and then we were going to do some turkey hunting.
Oh, that's right. You're going to do some turkey hunting.
Absolutely. And
Why are we not having turkey burger sandwiches right now?
well, I'll get to that story.
Okay.
There isn't much of a story to it.
Okay.
But as you see here in my pictures, getting there into St. Ignace, it was wet, it was dreary, but you know what? It was nice to get into the UP. It was one of those things that we were going to spend 3-4 days up there doing stuff around the cabin, making sure everything worked, and then try to get some turkey hunting in. Just so you know, the birds weren't talking. So we got up there, and finally, 7 hours into our drive, we were driving into Crystal Falls, Michigan.
Oh,
and
I jumped back there. Sorry.
Right, and we were driving into town. By the time we got that far west, the weather broke, and it wasn't as rainy. And as we were driving there, we just saw a ton of water in the woods. Wherever we could get a peek into the woods, it looked like there was water.
That's pretty high ground up there.
Yeah, you got some highs and lows, and man, it was just everything was high. I mean, all the rivers were high, and the creek going into the cabin, that was really high. And
Yeah. When did they lose their last snow up there? Do you know?
I don't know the exact date, but it was probably just into May. It's
Okay.
typically when, if the weather plays nice, it's gone. But, it was just one of those things that going up there, it was like, and when you're up there, and this being out in the woods, when you see a lot of water, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Could be a mosquito season, right?
Or anything else season.
Right? So we did get up there in time to get out the first night. Do a little turkey hunting. As you see, I was ready. I was supporting the shield while I was out, and I tell you what, it was really green.
No kidding.
And we were just. This is where you shot in the area of your deer.
Okay, it's out of that stand?
Yep.
Okay.
And it was just, we were on a hunch. The birds weren't talking. We tried calling, nothing. So we just picked two corners of the 40 and say, you're going to go over there, I'm going to go over here, and we're going to sit for a few hours and
see what happens.
Yes.
And nothing happened.
Only thing we called, actually, my cousin Brian, who was calling, and I was calling back at him. We were kind of in a fight. A couple of does came in, curious. He had decoys out. I didn't. But as you can tell, it was definitely greening up all over the place, which was kind of nice to see. So the first night we got out, but there was nothing there to see.
Man, that is green. I can't get over how green that is.
I know, this picture is, this is an unedited photo.
It looks like it's been brightened up.
I know, right? That is straight off the phone. So It's like, wow. So, but the bugs weren't bad.
Really?
Which made it nice. I didn't have to use my thermocell. I sprayed down for ticks and mosquitoes, but other than that, it wasn't too bad.
So, ticks. Everybody's been talking about ticks this year, how bad they are, like every year.
Right, exactly. So, believe it or not, we went and we put a stand out in the woods, so we were out easy cutting in the brush and walking through the woods, and Brian had 0, I had 1 tick that literally, I was in the side-by-side, I had my phone down on the seat, and I picked up my phone to look at it, and it was walking across the screen. And that was the only tick of the weekend.
He was checking his email.
I think he was. And then, of course, at that point, you start feeling really weird.
Yeah, you start itching all over.
Well, that, and he's like, if I would have put that up to my ear.
Yeah, been in your ear.
Oh, yeah, right? That would have been not cool. So, I tell you what, it was nice to get out there. But, how do you start your day? Is you start your day with deer camp coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were getting ready to do some work in the woods that next morning, and it's like, all right, get the deer camp going, get it brewing, get ready to do some construction out in the woods. So our agenda was, we called in the morning, didn't get nothing, so let's get it to our work, see what we're going to do, get this thing out in the woods. As you can see here, we are in full construction mode of building a platform. This was going to be our toughest stand to put up. It was the furthest in, and we were trying to figure out a way to get all the wood back there at one time.
So you built another one?
Yes.
What happened to the deer gutting table? Why didn't you put that stand up?
That's the one that went up.
Oh, that's it right there?
Yep. We finished it.
Well, it looks clean.
Funny you say that. I should have took a picture of it. I did.
Because there was blood all over that thing.
It was all gone.
Wow.
It was, first of all, they must have had a really good windstorm up there, because the stand itself it fell, because we only kind of temporarily screwed it, and it fell. The feeder over that we made was blown over. There was things that were just, few trees were down.
Okay.
So they probably had a good windstorm. So we set out, we finished it up. Then we obviously disassembled for transportating it out into the field.
Transportating it.
Yep. So
Okay.
It was like, how are we going to get this thing back there? Because it's heavy. So we were trying to figure out a way, and it just, sometimes you overthink it. And we tried, and I'm like, nope, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to take out the necessary boards to put the base, and we got out there. We used the easy cuts to cut into the woods here, clear out a little area, and we started building the base. And from there, we just started working. It was really nice. It was one of those things that we put it together. As we put it together at the cabin, we numbered it when we disassembled it. So it was basically just one big puzzle, putting it all together.
Okay.
And so we started working on it, and it was a couple of trips to get all the wood back there. But every time we needed to run back to the cabin, we threw some more wood in, and we brought it out with us. So it was real simple. And you can see here that, the weather wasn't bad. This was on Friday.
Did you clear that area out prior to this, or did you do it when you got up there?
We did not clear it out prior. We did it when we got there.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was. And as you can see, on one of the trips, we made a ladder, so we took the ladder out there. So, and that's exactly how I took it out there. Strapped it down to the side-by-side, and away we went.
Good Lord.
Right? And I didn't take a picture of it, because it's just one of those things, you don't think about it, but we used the side-by-side to hoist. We lifted up one side, we put the 4x4s in one end. Mm-hmm. We went to the opposite side, we put a buckle, a pulley up in the tree. The side-by-side is sitting to the left right now, and we did a rope, and I used the power winch.
Pulled it up and
Pulled
used
it
the
right
legs
up,
as a lever to
and
pull
we
it up.
just shoved the legs on the other side, brought it back down, and we went from there.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was really cool. Obviously, we just did some work out there, and
No work being done there.
well, this was after the first night, and my other cousins were up there, and they were coming down for a bonfire. So I just happened to be taking some pictures, and they were coming in from the other camp. So it's always good to have family around and coming down for a bonfire, right? There it was that evening. This was Friday evening, and it was
Not raining, man. Look at that sky.
it was awesome. We sat up till 1:30 in the morning, just looking at the stars, seeing meteors.
Yeah. Did you see any Aurora Borealis?
We did not see that. We saw, like I said, we were watching meteors. We saw probably half a dozen. And I guess the next night or Monday night was gonna be almost 1,000
Per hour.
per hour.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard if my cousin got back up there. And so that's what we did. We sat around the campfire on Friday night just talking about old times and had good times that we are. It was good. It was one of those things that you just, it was good to sit back and hear nothing.
Well, that's the way it is when we're on the river, when we go kayaking. I love just dead silence, other than just whatever's in nature at the time. It's going back again to what we were talking about before the show started. The way things are right now, it's just the basics of being simple. Getting out in nature, clearing your head, just decompressing and getting away from everything.
I tell you what, you are absolutely correct. And Mark Coleman, I bet you're right. I bet you there were shrooms up there, especially getting into Saturday, Sunday, Monday when it was getting pretty roasty. It's supposed to be pretty hot up there on Monday. And you're right, Mike. Sometimes you get the bird, and sometimes they give you the bird.
Hey, Adam Wynn's in the cabin tonight, just
All
checking
right.
in with us.
That stand is 10 feet high.
10 feet.
Actually, let me think about that. The posts are 10 feet, and there's probably another
6-8 inches on
on
top.
top of that, right?
Yep.
Because of the...
So all in all, had a good time.
oh, absolutely.
Refreshing. Got some work done.
It was awesome. And here's a photo of what we used to clear that area. You asked about it. There it is. We had the Easy Pack, and we were just working around that area and just using it to cut it all up.
The old sling pack.
Exactly. So we used the sling pack there, do some cutting. And finally, when we were able to get up on the deck, this is the new view that we have.
What patch of woods is that in?
So that is, it's on, the side Gabby was on?
Yep.
It's in the northeast corner of the property. And this is, if you were to look to your right, you'd look right at my cousin's property.
Okay.
And if you look towards these woods here, that is the adjacent property behind it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's a really good corridor that these deer run along these wood lines, and that's kind of looking out the other way. But you can see it was greening up. It almost kind of looks like a fall, but it was greening up. Obviously, the bigger trees were still coming out. So yeah, so it was all good. There we were happy we got it up in the sky. So and while we were there, I had some buck baits, and we started a mineral lick. We found a stump, plenty of them there. And I threw down some buck baits, and we'll see what happens.
You got a camera on it?
I don't have a camera on it yet. I will. I was actually, when I put this down, I spotted a tree that I want to put some camera there. I'll probably put it up if I go up in July. I'll probably put some more minerals down and put a camera there.
That looks suspicious right there.
So he's using the easy cuts.
Oh, okay.
He's off in the woods using the easy
I
cuts.
thought you thought maybe he was.
I didn't know what he was doing at first. I'm like,
maybe
what?
he was getting ready to take
No.
his morning constitution there.
No. He was clearing out some shooting lanes that he identified, and there is the finished product.
What are you gonna put on top? Pop-up blind?
So for now, we're gonna put pop-up blinds on it. It's just as easy to pop them up there,
Okay.
roll it, and take care of it.
All right.
So that was pretty much it for getting the stand completed. Now, all day Saturday, this was Saturday, it rained. It was one of those misty, rainy things going on, and which actually was nice. It was cool. We got wet, and there was no bugs. So I'll take the trade-off. So
Mark Coleman asked what direction the wind blew primarily. Down here, it's a southwest wind. Up there, yes.
right? So
All
so
over.
You asked that question, and I can give you. So if you're looking this way, it's going in the photo. The wind typically goes left to right, so it's basically out of the west, and we're basically looking north at this point. So it's just going to cut across.
So your hunting season winds, prevailing winds are out of the west,
Yep.
not out of the north.
Nope.
That's odd. I would have thought they would come out of the north.
And then if you get a warm front, it'll come out of the south, which
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's one of those things. Or if it comes out of the north, it's blowing right in your face.
Yeah.
So it's blowing both directions, either out of the west or out of the north. It's perfect.
Any poison ivy in that area? Probably not, because there's too much snow.
And so, right, you're always looking out for it. You know what, Mr. Coleman? We could probably go look for some and find some, but I ain't doing it. So that was our building project. We got it done. Then we decided we're going to do some more turkey.
And same thing.
We were going to run and gun.
And
It was fun because we went a few miles up the road and we just started poking out trails and working our way back.
but didn't hear any birds.
Didn't hear one. It's kind of scary. It was really quiet, and some of the spots we were by rivers. It's like, hey, let's go check out some spots. So that's what we did. And this one here is by the river. This is actually a really good deer hunting spot that we have. One of our cousins this is his area. So we went over there and we would do some calling, and it was totally silent. I don't know if it was the weather being so wet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now tune back in the fall.
They were everywhere.
Right?
Yeah, we saw birds all over.
I can't tell you what we were doing, what they're doing. So we're just out cruising. Obviously, we were calling, but nothing. That tree there is got to be at least 12 feet around. It's huge. It is humongous. It's just one of those things.
Two people can't reach around it, huh?
Nope, it was huge.
Interesting.
And then, obviously, on our way home, we came home Sunday, and it was beautiful.
course, when you leave it, the weather always changes and gets better when you're heading home.
Right. So
Never fails.
that was our weekend trip up to the cabin. Opened up the cabin, knock on wood. Everything in the cabin, water came up, electricity was good. No issues.
That's good.
Yes.
That's a good start to the season.
Absolutely. So that's all set, ready to go. And then, like I said, obviously the turkey season was a bust, but at least we're out there. We probably covered 10 miles.
Okay.
From the start to the finish. We went up to a spot, we found a lake, then we worked our way back to another trail, then another trail. We'd walk it, call, and nothing happened.
Yeah, see, sometimes that's just the way it is.
It is.
No rhyme or reason for it. So.
And in the morning, we got up, we sat on the porch, we listened, we'd call.
We're almost halfway through the show.
All right.
We need to take a break. So we're going to step outside, take care of some quick business. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
All right, second segment of the show. Halfway through the show.
I know, right? Just a reminder, everybody out there, this weekend, June 4th, at the New Baltimore Trade Center. That's right, folks. We have an outdoor show. Saturday from 10 to 8, June 4th, at the New Baltimore Trade Center. Up North Journal is going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. And we're going to be supporting Deer Camp, Buck Baits, and Island Armory.
You and I are going to be there. Tammy's going to be there. Mark Holman's going to be there. And our newest member of the crew, Adam Wynn, is going to be there.
Absolutely. So if you're out and about, stop in New Baltimore, check it out. I know there's going to be a couple other vendors there as well. So
good deal.
Absolutely.
That's all good.
So you left on Thursday last week too.
Yes, I did. Yep, we made it up to Pentwater, just south of Ludington onto Lake Michigan, and had a pretty good drive up there. You can blow that up full screen if you want. Probably be a little easier. Yeah, it doesn't do much there. But,
well, it sure looks like you started off the weekend right with eating.
Well, I always eat good when I'm at camp or camping or what have you. But, yeah, we were at State Park. We do most of our meals over the fire. But I want to say something, because I'm going to jump on a soapbox here real quick. When you're out camping in a campground, state campground, whatever, don't be that guy or gal who leaves your garbage all over the place to blow through everybody's stinking campsite all weekend long.
Isn't it like the kind of one rule is leave it how you found it, or leave only leave only footprints?
Dude, these people were partying up a storm. That didn't bother me. I mean, they do whatever they want. I had the AC cranked up in the camper, so we didn't hear them. I slept just fine. But every stinking morning, you got up and there was litter all over my campsite from them.
Because it was blowing in.
Yeah, blowing in. Because we're up on the Great Lakes. Here's a good indication of how hard the wind's blowing, because you see the white caps. That's on the beach right there. And the wind blew all weekend, which that's fine. But, tie your stuff down. There was 30 to 40 pop and beer cans in our site every morning. Garbage blowing through. Clothes blowing through, because they had a bunch of little kids. And it was, they'd take off their stuff. And it was just like a big garbage dump. So don't be that guy.
Right,
okay.
I get it.
Don't be those people.
Don't be those, I get it. You're there to have a good time, but be a little bit respectful of the other campers around. Because
Absolutely.
There's nothing worse than having a neighbor like that.
Yep.
I know you're going to go to the next spot and you'll probably have one of the best neighbors for the summer.
We've never had a problem like that, but this weekend was bad.
Right.
And then the guy 2 campsites down decided he was going to see who could have the biggest bonfire.
Right, cool.
Yeah, that was a treat as well. But yeah, I think this is probably one of my favorite pictures from the whole trip right here. This is looking north up the coast towards Ludington. Just the view is incredible. But yeah, it was windy. We had white caps, and when it's like that, you're getting 3-4 footers, maybe even a 5-footer. I mean, it's blowing pretty good. So
nice.
But yeah, we had some good meals. We eat pretty good, and
it's funny. This is you were just talking about it. This picture here, Whitecaps.
Yep, this was the next morning.
This next morning?
Yeah, no, that was in the evening. I take that back. It died down, and we were kicking ourselves because we didn't actually throw the boats in the big water and go up the channel here to go into the river coming out.
Oh, okay.
You know, that was the goal. The weekend it was to hit Lake Pentwater and then go up in the Pentwater River, and we also wanted to do the Pere Marquette. It calmed right down. It was a great evening, and we wish we'd have been out there. So
shoulda, woulda, and coulda, right?
Yeah. So
there's the happy couple.
Yep, there we
Got
are.
a photo in, right?
Yep. So that's what it's all about. Make sure you get the good photos in.
Right, and then you got the campsite.
Yep.
Got the American flag.
This is the first time with the new kayak hauling trailer, which did great.
I was gonna say, how did it do?
We love it. They ride so much better. We got V-racks on it instead of J-hooks, and for people at kayak know what that is.
And you don't have to worry about them on top of a car.
Nope.
You just and it's easier to load.
Yep. Yeah, it was a piece of cake.
Right.
So.
Exactly. And I've seen a couple people. Matter of fact, when I was coming home, adjusting their
stuff on the side of the road.
Yep.
Hats off to them for stopping and checking.
Right.
But yeah, our stuff was tied down really good, so no issues there at all. So you can go with the next set of photos there that we got. But the first 2 days really didn't do much. I mean, I've been working so much overtime lately. I had to decompress, kind of get in the zone. I slept a lot the first 2 days just to kind of get back into it, and then we went out and we hit the Pere Marquette River, which is right there. So you can just kind of cruise through those photos there.
There we go. All right.
But the PM, that's a big fishing river. We went way downstream, stayed out of what they call, the pristine, premier holy waters where everybody fishes.
Oh, okay.
And actually, that stretch above where we were at, you have to have a permit to be in the river with a kayak. You have to pre-register with the DNR with the date you're going to be there. And I guess they only allow so many people. I guess I understand too, because the steelhead run up this lake trout, and then there's trout in the stream as well. It's just there's so much going on up in those upper stretches where everything's really pristine. They just don't want a bunch of partiers coming down and
like a tie off or a raft off or whatever.
Yep.
Just
a flotilla.
Right. Like they kind of happens on the Osabo and Rifle.
Yep.
You get the big groups just partying it up and hooping and hollering. It looks like they kind of control what goes on there.
Yeah, you can just kind of go through them. But
looks like the dog was having a good time.
Yeah, he had a good time. He was chilling.
Oh!
So Memorial Day, what better way to celebrate Memorial Day than to see a bald eagle?
Right, exactly.
Actually, you can cut through. There's actually a video there at some point where we're floating through. But he never spooked. He kind of hung out there and let us get pretty close. I guess I didn't post a video there. Maybe, I don't know. I thought I did post a video. But anyway, he let us cruise right underneath him, and he never spooked or anything. It was really nice. So
nice.
He kind of hung out there.
Looks like he had some obstacles that to go around.
Yeah, there was some trash in the river. Well, I don't mean like actual trash, but I mean there was some stuff that we had to get around. There was a couple spots that it wasn't hairy or nothing. It's just if you're a newbie, you need to take some precaution.
Well, you should always take some precautions, and like you said, you always want to come back that day or that evening whenever you're out there. It looks like you're getting
That's when we're first getting in. Actually, I gotta say hats off to the DNR. Their boat launches up there, where the people put in, they got some really, really nice boat launches up there.
Okay.
They've been really well taken care of and maintained. Great facilities. Can't say enough for them.
Well, that's where our monies go to, right?
Yep.
Helps that out. And then, you're cruising down here. How is the water level?
They weren't real high.
Really?
Yeah, it was probably 3-4 foot deep in most places.
Okay.
Current was kind of slow. Nice, leisurely little paddle. Didn't really paddle. Did more steering than anything. I mean, it was a good float. We went 5 miles, took us 2.5 hours, so it was nice.
All right.
Not bad at all.
And like you said, look at you got blue skies and everything.
Perfect day. Temperature was perfect. We're in full wetsuits, making sure that in case we did take a dip, that you're protected because the water's still cold.
Oh yeah, it's not.
So
that's.
I thought for sure I had a bald eagle video in there somewhere. So, but no, it was a good float. And when we got out, we really put time in and made sure we knew where we wanted to go. Okay, our put in our takeout spot. Checking. We actually went out and we drove and made sure of where we were going to put in and where we were taking out. So we had everything all pre-planned the day before we even went. And the reason I say that is if you're a newbie and you're getting out and you're going to hit a river, you've got to pay attention where you're putting in and where you're taking out. It is imperable because where we took out was the last takeout spot until you got into Ludington, which was a 10-hour float.
Oh,
beyond
don't
that.
miss that.
And as we took out, we're getting our gear all together, and this gentleman and his wife and boy come down from the parking lot. They got their kayaks, and they're getting ready to get in the river. And I look at Nancy, and she says, what? I go, they're putting in. And she goes, yeah. I go, it's 10 hours to the next spot. That's like 18 miles, 20 miles to the next takeout. It's through, basically wilderness.
Right?
And I'm like, I bet they don't. You can tell because here we are. We got full wetsuits on, all of our gear. They had T-shirt, tank top, shorts.
They were going to do
flip-flops,
fun paddle.
Yep, and life jacket. They were not prepared at all.
Right.
And I said, hey, sir, excuse me, I don't mean to butt in, but are y'all putting in? Yeah. I said, where are you taking out at? Oh, we're just going to go downstream a little bit, maybe, and, we may paddle back up. And I'm like, well, you're not going to paddle back. The current was enough to make you float. But it was fast enough. You're not going to be paddling back upstream.
It'll be a tough paddle.
We actually back paddled because there was a woodpecker on a stump. We wanted to get a picture, so I'm back paddling. Could not. So I flipped it around, started paddling up the current, and it wore me out.
Right,
going back 50 to 100 yards so I could float back past again.
Now imagine doing that for a mile.
Well, and they said, well, we're just going downstream, 2 or 3 miles. We don't find a place to take out, then, we'll paddle back. I'm like, no, you won't. I said, do you know where the next stop is? No. I said, it's about 18 to 20 miles downstream. And his jaw went.
He didn't kind of look at the map, did he?
No. And the lady said, yeah, we were just going to, hopefully call our friends, because there's a campground right across from where we took out.
Oh, okay.
And they said, we're going to call our friends. They're going to come get us. I said, I'm telling you. I said, it's a long, long way. Just warning you.
Right.
And they didn't have any food with them, no drinks, no water, nothing.
They thought it was going to be an easy hour or 2 out on the water, right?
And I said, we're going back to get our vehicle where we just put in at. And I said, it's about a 2.5 hour float. And I said, you come right back to here. And they're like, well, would you take us up to that spot? Can we follow you? I'm like, yeah, you can follow us up there.
So they followed you?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's good. Very, very well done. Looking out for the safety.
How many stories you hear about people getting stranded on a river overnight and people not know where they're at, and then they get eat up by bugs?
They get eat up by bugs. They lose their shoes.
Yeah.
They get tipped over. They get cold, hypothermia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And next you know, you got the out looking for them, right?
Yep. So make doggone sure you know.
Hey, Mark Coleman, do you get much cell phone reception out there? Depends on where you're at on the property. On the high side, you'll get a lot better than you do in the swamp. Adam Wynn got out on the kayak. He caught some bass.
Yeah, he did. I got to get him on the river.
Right.
Mark Coleman asked, what kind of footwear do we wear? If I'm not wearing water shoes in like the middle of the summer when I'm taking a short trip in a real shallow river, I wear my neoprene boots, and they're knee-high. And I don't mean hunting boots. These are like really thin, like 3 mil thin, and they're soft-soled, and it's for they're kayaking made by NRS. And they are great because they're waterproof, even though they are neoprene, but they are waterproof. And we use that, or I use those, and Nancy uses those in the cold weather. So it keeps your feet warm, keeps you dry. So
that's the most important thing is you don't want to get wet because then things can go a little bit awry, and then that's not going to go well.
Yeah. So basically, that was I really enjoyed the PM. It was a nice float. Like I said, we saw one deer, saw a turtle, first turtle of the year. So it's just now getting warm enough for them to come out and sun themselves.
I saved a turtle.
Did you? Good for you.
I was crossing the road, and I stopped in the middle of the road and kept it going the way it was going.
So that was all the woodpecker. You know why a woodpecker does not get a concussion from rapping on a tree?
Why?
Their brain is protected by their tongue. Their tongue wraps up around the backside of their brain and holds it and keeps it from banging against the front of their skull.
No way.
Look it up. I didn't believe it either. Nancy told me that, and I looked it up, and
sure enough.
Yep.
So like those big, for any size woodpecker, that's how it works.
Well, that's what it said.
Holy smokes.
I don't know if it's for everyone, but...
Right. Big shout out to JPO Game Calls. They're in the house, and he made it. Oh, way to go.
Hopefully things are going good for y'all.
I just wonder... That just has me perplexed. Be able to wrap your tongue around your brain.
You know another interesting fact about birds?
Let me hear it. We'll go 2 for 2.
Birds have no sphincter. That's why when they're flying, they're bombing. True.
And one of the worst ones are cranes. They are the nastiest when they
So there's some news you can use, folks, right there.
Right?
Oh, my gosh.
I'd use that line right now there, Mr. Mark Coleman. Good man, Mike. Well done.
Yeah.
Good information.
It is good information.
Right? So, like you said, it was nice to get out in the woods. It was nice to get out and just, like you said, decompress, sitting by the fire, not a care in the world, listen to nothing.
Yep.
In your case, you were probably listening to the waves hit the water.
Well, on the river, first thing I did, and I do this every single time I get in the water, Nancy can testify to this. When we're on the water and there's nobody around, we push off, we get going, I take the paddle, and I hang it back on my shoulders like this, and I just lean back. Hey. And she goes, what? And I go,
hear that?
You hear that? She's like, nope, and I love it. So
exactly, and you're right, Mark Coleman. Mike is in the know, dropping knowledge on the woodpecker.
There you go.
Yep, right, Adam Wynn, learning something new every day.
That's right.
So it's just like I said, it was so nice. The bugs were not that bad. Yeah, we had some, but we sprayed. They might have been buzzing. The black flies were probably buzzing us. The mosquitoes were there, but once we sprayed down, we sprayed with Promethium, keep the ticks off. And then we did the offer around the head and hands.
Keep them critters off.
Ugh.
There you go.
Everybody's saying how bad they are, and I get it. With as much wetness as I saw in the woods, I get it.
Okay.
And Mark Coleman, truthfully, I really didn't look for any morels, which probably would have been a good time. But
I didn't see any. We kind of glanced while we were out and about. We were really in a position to go deep looking for them, so... actually, you know what? I'll bring Mark. Yes, I'll answer that question here. We're going to take a break, and I'll answer that question for you when we come back. We're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
All right. So there's a question right before we went to break.
There is a question.
Do you ever have to go potty while on the water? Constantly. Especially when I'm drinking...
Well, when you're drinking
Deer
coffee.
Camp coffee. Because I actually... those pictures weren't on there. I had a picture... Oh, no, I didn't post that one. I got a picture of my Deer Camp coffee mug sitting in my kayak. I've got a console. And it's got 2 cup holders in it and a dry box in the console. I'm constantly having to go to the bathroom. What I do... Paddle over to the shore real quick, find a nice sandy spot, and that's the reason I wear a 2-piece wetsuit. That way it's easy. You don't have to worry about taking the whole top part down and taking care of business. So, but number 2, no. I make sure and pre-plan all of that in the morning before the trip to make sure that doesn't become an issue. So that has not happened. But on our last trip... actually, let's see. That's the end of that run of pictures there. You can go back the first water picture. Keep going right there. Oh no, go back to the set of pictures before that, and then I'll have you start at that point because it'll explain kind of what was going on at that point. No, I'm talking about there's another set of pictures.
Gotcha.
Gotta direct this guy.
I could pull up your puzzle.
Scroll down. That was later on. That was in the evening. It's down below that one.
Yeah.
It's the morning shots. Sorry, folks, here. I got to direct him.
Well, I got to wait for the computer to load, too.
Keep going. Right there. There you go. All right, so our last full morning, which would have been Sunday morning, this was us at the beach getting ready to launch into Lake Michigan, right into the lake, right into the mouth of the lion, so to speak. Okay, go to the next one. A couple, you can flip to them. That shows you how big the water is.
Look how calm it was.
So we're like, okay, looked at the forecast. Winds were at about 10 miles an hour. That was about 10 miles an hour that morning. So we're like, okay, so we'll take off from there.
All right.
Now, if you look at and you see the pier out there and you see the little light beacon sticking up, that is the northernmost light beacon. There's another one that we showed earlier, the red tower on the opposite side of the channel, thus the left and right side, the north and south side of the channel.
Oh, okay.
Leading into Pentwater Lake. So the goal is to paddle out, go around this light and up the channel into town.
Okay.
Okay. And now you can go back to the other set of pictures.
Okay, I get it now. I got the story.
So,
So
check the
then-
weather. On big water, check the weather, check the weather, check the weather. And when you're done checking the weather, check the weather again.
Right.
Because the winds can come up so quickly, and you can go from dead calm to roller, 4, 5, 6 foot rollers in the matter of no time. So, anyway, we started our little trip, and you can see both marker lights there. We're still in the main lake. Here we are.
Look how flat it is.
Yeah. We're looking towards Wisconsin. That's back towards the beach. And yes, we have our PDFs on, always.
All
So
right.
here we are going into the channel, okay? So at the end of that marker light is a big pile of rocks. You got to get out and go past the rocks, then come around and come up into the channel.
Was there a lot of people fishing?
No.
No?
No. This was at 7 in the morning.
Okay.
Even the charter boats weren't out yet. So here we are. And all of a sudden we get into the main lake and
Looks
the
pretty
town.
choppy.
And then all of a sudden the winds picked up. I kind of look over at Nancy. Hey, what do you think? It's not too bad. Yeah, but we got to get back out of here. So we did our thing. We paddled along. Here, flights of geese come over. Saw a ton of waterfowl on this trip. So we're paddling out there, and it's bouncing us pretty good. And that it didn't bother me at that point. So we get to the end of the lake.
So you're at the opposite end of where you need to go to get out.
Yep, this
Okay.
is about 2 miles. There's a little causeway over, and then there's a marsh on the other side. And I think we actually went under. And I don't know if I took any photos or not going under. Looks like I did. That's coming back out. So we decided to turn around, and I'm kind of starting to get anxious because the wind's starting to pick up really good. You can see here it's getting worse. And I tell her, I said, okay. I said, so this might be the last picture. There might be 1 or 2 more. Yeah.
Well, you're racing a sailboat.
Sailboat's coming into the channel. So we got to get out and get back around said lights. Yeah, that's the last one. So I'm thinking, okay, so how am I going to do this? Because as I'm getting closer and we get to the end of this thing, I'm paddling. The waves are going out towards Lake Michigan, but it feels like the current is pulling us backwards.
Right.
And my shoulders getting sore, and I'm paddling, and it's constant paddling. I'm getting up to that end there, and all of a sudden I'm to the right side, which is the north side wall, and that's the side we got to turn around. But the wind's coming out of the south. It's a cross breeze, and I'm like, I got to get past those rocks. I don't want to be blown into the rocks, so I cut over hard to the left. And once we got out past that last part of the break wall,
right?
Yeah, there was about 4 foot rollers.
Really?
And I was in front of her, and she's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got this." She lost sight of me. I got between 2 rollers, and she said I completely disappeared.
Well, yeah,
it was that deep. And as I'm paddling, I'm like, okay, I'm in the trough. I've got to turn because if not, I'm going to get swamped and possibly rolled. So I dug in hard on the right side and got the boat started to turn around. And then I come back to the left side and started paddling hard. Got it. And just as I started to get the turn down, the roller come down and got me.
Oof.
Didn't flip me, but
No, it got you.
I was wet. I mean, it soaked me good. And then I paddled for my dear life.
Right.
In the meantime, she's behind me going, woohoo! And, like a bobber in the water.
Oh, Lord.
With the dog. So.
Right.
But it was a little hairy.
Well, that's what, was that the scariest ever been? Was that the scariest you've been on the big water?
He says ever been.
Yeah.
Ever been really scared in the big water? The first time I was on the big water, I was apprehensive. Then I got to feel it. But we were in 14.5 foot kayaks. These were our 12.5 footers. They're wider. It's got a 28-inch wide beam, where our 14 footers are like 22-ish, 20-ish. They're real narrow and long. But they're not. They are tippier, but I also have a rudder on the back of that boat, so I can really steer that boat really well. Long story short, the longer the boat, the narrower the boat, the bigger the water.
Right. We learned that from Tracy. Martin.
Right. Yep. Right. So the next big trip on the water I took was out on Lake Huron, and we crossed one evening. We went out for sunset pictures and went to Turnip Rock and back, and actually came back in the dark across Alaskan Bay. The only point I really got scared on that was a roller coming from behind me, and I didn't know it was coming. It was pretty flat that day, but a swale come in.
Oh, okay.
And I'm paddling, and all of a sudden, my boat felt like it got pushed up from the back, and I couldn't tell what it was. And all of a sudden, as the wave come by, the front end came up, and it felt like I was going backwards into the water.
Oh, okay.
And then it dawned on me what it was. But this time was probably the most apprehensive I got because I knew the potential for danger.
Gotcha.
Because it got rough. It got rough quick. We were out for 2.5 hours, and that wind changed, and it changed quick. And when it did, it got rough.
Well, that's like any type of weather, right? It doesn't give you any warning.
Yeah.
It just happened.
And he asked about, all those photos are taken on my cell phone.
Yep, absolutely. And Tammy says the puzzle is proof that you're a camper kayaker.
you got to have something to do in the evenings when things kind of die down. You get a barley pop, you eat dinner, you get a barley pop, you sit down, clean the table off, and put a puzzle together.
There you go.
It's relaxing. So.
And then, like Tammy says again, red, right return.
Yeah. Oh, man. I was worried about getting pushed into the rocks. That was my
absolutely.
That was my biggest fear.
There's a million things that can run through your mind that can happen out on the water. Just like it can happen on land, right?
But you just got to keep your calm and think before you do, And remember, you've still got all your flotation devices on. I had my neoprene wetsuit on. I just didn't want to get in the water.
You didn't want to be that guy.
No, and the strange thing was, by the time we come back out, it was 9:30. People were out on the causeways walking, and everybody's looking, because here come these two kayakers out, and we're paddling towards Lake Michigan, and there's rollers on the water,
right?
And she's got the dog with her, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at the dog!" That's the big talk. And then I'm getting towards the end there, this one guy's walking by. He goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "I'll be better when I'm on that side of the pier." And he said, "Well, just be safe." And I go, "That's the plan."
Exactly. That will be the plan. I tell you what, it'll be, well, when you heading out again?
For kayaking or camping?
Either one.
Probably both. It'll be both, and that'll be 2 weeks from this weekend.
All right.
Yeah. We're going to, we're going to go to Hef State Park, which is up near Rogers City. For those of you who don't know, it's up here.
Right.
The Michigan map here, I'm pointing at my hand. And we're going to go to Antioch Falls and River and Lake, and maybe wind up in Lake Huron.
Nice.
So
excellent. Yep. You're gonna have a busy few weeks then.
Yes, this weekend is the trade show.
The trade show, and we're gonna go do some fishing,
some charter fishing.
Yep. And then we got tack.
And then I'm going camping.
Yep.
And then summer's half over.
Welcome. Then we'll be into July.
Mark, so you wear glasses. How do you keep them on, and how do you keep the water off of them? I don't wear these. Are for reading. Actually, I don't wear these. I just wear these in here for computer and for the phone, so I can't see anything up close. Mark.
He wears them to see me better.
But I do wear sunglasses, and they're real tight fitting. And if it gets to where I think it's gonna get too rough, I'll actually take them off and put them in my cubby.
Oh, okay.
On the boat.
Don't need those going because you won't get them back.
Yeah, good thing you're not a bird nose rollers, man. I tell you what, and Tom Genzel, he's familiar with the Flint River. He does some recreating on the water. You got to respect the water, man. It's just
you got to respect Mother Nature.
Dress for the water temps, not the air temperature. I mean, we were a little warm, but the difference between the two was pretty big. Know the area you're going to. Scout it out. Don't just go, oh, hey, this looks cool. Look on a map. We can put it in here and take out there. Do your research,
Well, especially if you got to, like you said, the one stretch you got to put in to be in that area.
Yeah.
You got to know that.
Yeah, and the fines are pretty hefty. If you don't have a permit, and they said the DNR will stop you on the water.
Really?
Yeah, they will stop you.
I'm sure they will.
And ask, and check and make sure that you got your permit to be on that stretch of the river.
Wow.
So. Yeah.
Cool deal, man. It's just summer starting and we're getting busy.
Pack food with you. Pack water. Don't take alcohol on the river because if you're kayaking or canoeing, you need water. You need water if you're on a long trip.
Well, you gotta stay hydrated. Whether you're kayaking or you're out hiking or you're out mushrooming.
You gotta keep your wits about you.
You gotta keep your wits. One worse thing than ever is doing that, having some alcohol with you and getting a little bit lit.
Yep.
And then getting disorientated, and it could go bad.
You get your shine on, and all of a sudden you're not shining. So.
Right? They'll be trying to recover you.
Yep. So, have a float plan. Let people know where you're putting in, where you're taking out.
Just like hunting.
Yep. Let them know when you're supposed to be off the water. When we do big water, we do that, especially on big water.
And that goes for you, Mark Coleman. Next time you're out shrooming, you just let us know where you're at, so in case we don't hear from you,
we'll come find you.
Right. It's all for safety, Mark.
Yeah, that's right. So,
but
I'll tell you what. Let's take our last break here.
Yeah,
and we'll wrap up the show. So, step outside, take a last break. We'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at pscarchery.com.
All right, last segment of the show.
Give a shout out. I saw Kevin Craven on. He was on the show last week, just in the chat box.
Okay.
Also happening Saturday is Sturgeon Fest up in Fort Gratiot. I think it's at the Lighthouse. He's going to be up there. So if anybody is in the area and you want to go to Sturgeon Fest, get over there. Look for Kevin Craven and get your picture with him.
There you go. He always takes pictures of people, doesn't he?
He does. It's always good to have a picture with him. Oh, who's a better kayak, Mike Adams or Nance?
She is by far. By far. She's got more experience at it. She's been on bigger water. She has actually kayaked from Mackinac City to St. Ignace. That's 5 miles across Straits of Mackinac at the Mackinac Bridge.
And that can be tedious at times.
Yeah, she said that was hairy. And she did that three years ago, I think. So, yeah, and I would like to do that, but it's going to be when conditions are impeccable. That's something that I want to do, but I'm not going to risk it.
Well, that's like, matter of fact, you brought that up when we were coming home. As we were heading southbound, the right side of the bridge, just, before you got into the air, was perfectly calm.
Yep.
On the left side was roller coming in, right?
Yeah.
Because the wind was blowing right down the strait.
Blowing right down the fetch of the water.
Yep. So, yeah, imagine trying to kayak that, right?
No, wind's got to be right or no wind. You got to know the conditions, man, and they can change so quick. So, 5 miles, that's about a 2.5 hour paddle.
And that water's moving, so
yeah,
it depending on where you put in to start your coming across, it's not a straight shot.
And yeah, if there's any wind at all, I want it at my back, pushing me.
Right?
I don't want.
Good luck with that.
So
get a north wind, or I guess you'd have a southerly would be good too.
Depends on where you start,
right? No doubt about it. But no,
I like the rivers, man. I mean, I like the big water. The big water's cool. I've been in Saginaw Bay. When the conditions are right, it's a lot of fun. Big water is definitely different. You see some cool stuff, but I like the really pristine rivers, like the wilderness of the rivers. No houses, nothing around for 10, 12 miles.
And plus, you get to you kind of float through nature.
Exactly.
Like you said, like you saw a bald eagle.
Yeah.
You saw a woodpecker. Mm-hmm. You see other things that...
You see deer all the time. We see mink. I haven't seen an otter yet. See turtles and all kinds of birds.
Right.
And stuff
you're
like
just
that.
floating by, so you're not really interrupting them.
No.
But you're watching them as you do it.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you get pictures, really good pictures, and, on the big water, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of water.
Right.
A lot of water.
Right.
So...
But no, other than that, it's I guess it's the official kickoff of summer, and we got some things coming up. I think it's going to be some fun.
Well, you mentioned TAC. You ready for TAC?
Am I ready for TAC? I am 75% ready for TAC. I just got to shoot my long distance and put my tape on.
No, Mark Kelman, I've never seen snakes on the river, although there are.
You've never seen a snake on the river?
No, not since we've been kayaking. I have not.
Really?
Nope, not yet.
It's kind of freaky. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I've seen snakes in water before. That doesn't mean.
But because I have up on the Michigami, and they're coming straight for you, and you're like, wait a minute,
take that.
I'm the only land that you think you have.
Yeah,
it ain't happening.
Well, the paddle's going to come to smack down on them.
All right. So no, I get it. Yeah, it kind of gets hairy. You see that head coming at you, and you're like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, back to TAC though. I need to shoot. I need to really up my shooting this week.
Yep, that's my plan for this coming week. In between what we got to do, I just got to shoot my long distance, put my tape on, and then just shoot.
Shoot.
Right.
How many arrows you taking?
Yes. Oh.
That's been the big question. That's been the big question on the TAC page for the last 3 months.
Right.
And it's still ongoing. People, like they're shooting Seven Springs. They shot Seven Springs.
Last weekend?
Last weekend, because they're off this weekend. What bows we're shooting at TAC? Our new ones.
We are shooting our new ones, absolutely.
The new Evo
XFs.
XF.
32-inch
axle
yes.
with the new ECS cam.
Which is an entirely different cam.
It is.
It's a tough cam.
The rollover is more aggressive than the first ECS cam.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That we shot. Still 90% let off, so easy to hold. I've shot the bow, probably 100, 200 arrows. And, yeah, I like it.
It's nice. It's a flat shooter, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
We both increased our speed. I know I increased mine 14.
We're shooting the same setup.
Yeah, we're shooting. We are shooting the same setup.
I actually dropped my my draw length down a 1/4 inch. I'm shooting a flat 27 now.
Yep, that's what we both shoot. And probably taking 24 arrows. I think it's in the box.
You're taking that many?
It doesn't mean I'm going to take them with me on the field. But I got a
60
arrow
pounds,
box,
Mark.
Arrow box, and whatever in there.
Okay. Yeah, I've got 18 ready to go, but I don't know what I'll take me.
Right, exactly. And then when we get there, we'll hit the course, practice range, get some time in there just to get acclimated to the new mountain.
Yeah,
Crystal Mountain is new for this year. I don't know if it's a one and done. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. Obviously, stay tuned. But because of the construction back over at Boyne, they're not able to shoot. So we're at Crystal, and then if it's one and done, we'll be back at Boyne. But check out the new digs and see how this works.
Yeah, and next year I'd almost like to go somewhere and shoot.
Right?
Tennessee, Vermont looked amazing.
You know what? They all look amazing in their own.
Yeah.
The one out in Utah, Snowbird looks incredible.
That'd be a trip. That'd be a great trip to go on.
That'd be that would be awesome.
But we got PA here. We can make it in a drive. Vermont's not that.
Tennessee, there.
Yeah.
I know there's a
Those
couple.
are doable.
Yep, exactly. So, but you got to get out there and do it. We always seem to do the Michigan one. We always have a good time. We meet lots of people. We see lots of people that we've known before. So we'll get back out there. I'm sure we'll be able to have a reception to do some live shots.
Let's hope.
Right? And then my sight tape, I had to order some more because I had the wrong ones. And I still can't find what I did with my ones from last year.
Okay.
So they finally came in, and I got a light kit too.
Okay. Well, Sunday, if the weather holds, we're going to be fishing.
Yes, Sunday, I think the weather looks okay. We're going to be heading out into Saginaw Bay with Captain Scott. He's been on the show. Up North Journal's taking a little fishing trip.
Now, is there cell reception out there? Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we could go live out there. Okay, good.
I'm sure we'll be able to go live.
Yeah, the only thing I saw, there is a chance for some rain Sunday.
Yep. So if it's not bad weather, we'll be fine. But if it's the hit and miss stuff, we can jog it.
Yep.
And it sounds like he's doing pretty good out there. So he was down in Illinois doing some food plotting. He came back today, and so we'll see him on Sunday.
Sounds good.
And then we'll have a report for you next time we're on the air, right?
Well, speaking of, as we wrap the show up, next week it's going to be more than likely we'll have a show, but there's a slight chance we won't because of my work schedule. Once away is getting in the way of things. So if we have a show next week, we're going to be talking about TAC again, and we'll be talking about our fishing trip. So that's what we got in the books for this week. We don't want to book anybody to talk to because if we can't have a show, I don't want to mess with that.
Right,
so.
Exactly. And we got some things we're going to be this weekend. We're going to be at the trade show. We're going to have hopefully our fishing trip to talk about next week. And then the weekend after that, we'll be up at TAC. So next 2 weeks, you'll hear about our weekends of being out there. Mark Coleman is coming up from Indiana this weekend. He's going to be live with us. Deer Camp is looking forward to meeting you. I talked with them.
Adam Wynn will be with us.
We're going to have the whole crew together.
Tammy will be with us.
Yep. So if you're in New Baltimore, stop at the New Baltimore Trade Center for the outdoor show. It's their first one. I cannot tell you what to expect. Deer Camp, same way. We don't know what we're going into. I know there's a couple other vendors there. Island Armory, Deer Camp, Buck Baits, obviously, who will be there. Uncle Henry's will be there. And I think Cabela's is going to be there as well, and what other vendors they got for sport. I'm pretty sure they're going to have their fishing people out there.
Autographs, come and get them. Yep, Danny will have 8x10 glossies with him. Don't shake your head at me. You know it's true.
We're all waiting to get the Mark Coleman autograph.
What are you going to have him sign?
Stay tuned.
Don't even go there. Don't even go. Oh, you're starting to scare me, man.
It wasn't my idea.
Okay, that's even worse. Mark, we're gonna have to have a talk.
Right? It was an idea given to me today.
All right.
So we'll make sure we have our silver Sharpies.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. So if you guys are out and about, come by, see us. Otherwise, we'll talk to you all hopefully next week. For some reason we're not on next week, we'll be back again right after TAG.
And we'll let you know if we're going to be on or not. We'll do a live drop that.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
So anything else?
Nope, that's it. Let's have a good rest of our week, get into the weekend, and have some fun.
Well, there you go. So next week we'll be back same time, same channel right here on Facebook. Y'all take care, and we'll see y'all then.
This episode was brought to you by PSC Archery,
Deer Camp Coffee,
Buck Baits,
JPO Game Calls,
the Island Armory,
Hacker Max,
Sunrise Archery,
and C3 Better the Hunt Technology.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.